Hi. Hopefully. Oh my fucking god. Hopefully, okay? Well, maybe I'm stupid. I'm hoping. You don't even know how much I'm hoping that I don't actually have to do anything to make sure my phone has enough storage in it now, because it wasn't even supposed to be out of storage. It's been so fun. Like, there's no way that at some point in time my phone could hold like 3 hours of video at a time, or even double that, okay? Not kidding. What was under my nail? Like a little piece of dirt, but it looked like bacon. I didn't eat bacon. The disrespect, okay? How is there bacon under my nail and I didn't even eat bacon? It's dirt, but like, how did it even look like bacon? There's no way. Why is that happening? Why is any of this happening? Oh my gosh, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? Because you don't know the situation of me trying to find a spot for you. I'm trying to stab the ground so that I have a makeshift tripod for you. Just know, if this is the best it is, it's barely there. What are we doing? We're gonna go crazy. I can't believe this worked. I don't even want to touch it, but do you understand? Gravity or something. Wow. Giant stick in my face. Not trying to do whatever that is. Anyway. What am I doing? Ah! That's how I feel. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of feeling like if Planet Fitness like incarnated as a person. I'm confused. I don't know what this is. We'll start there. And the words, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna fucking get to that, okay? We're gonna fucking get to like a lot of stuff. We have a lot that we haven't even talked about. Just know that. Words on my mind are definitely, how did it start? That's how it starts. Like, weird, like, those words are on my mind. That's where I'm at. Well, one of the places that I'm at. We're gonna talk about all the places that I'm at. Why should you know? You're gonna find out by watching it, not by me telling you. But you should know, I think. Or it'd be cool if you did. You know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not. But you're gonna watch this all the way through, whether you like it or not. Okay? That's what you're gonna do. I know we're already at 3 minutes 34. Not everybody made it this far. The sky is so pretty today. Okay, the sky. I don't know. Like, yeah, there's not a cloud in the sky, but the whole thing's not blue, it's white, so I don't know, guys. Maybe the whole thing is a cloud. Oh, you can see it. Never mind. How did I not know you could see it? Never mind. We have a lot to talk about. Can you tell? Can you? I don't even know how to start it, where to start it. It's just a YouTube video. How could it possibly be that hard? Since when was it that difficult? Why do I look filtered? In real life, I look filtered. It's just an iPhone camera. I look filtered though. Like, I kind of look perfect. You know, I mean, everybody has flaws, but I'm saying like my skin texture, Why does it look filtered? The iPhone camera is like, here's a filter. So, guys, I wasn't gonna tell you anything. I just want to do that. But I will tell you stuff in the whole video if you have to watch it. If you're gonna make it to it, you're gonna make it to it, okay? Like, damn. Okay. So, I have notes. That's how far we're going today. I have notes. You know, when I have notes, it's because I'm scared of what I'm gonna tell you and what I'm not gonna tell you. Because I'm gonna forget the good parts and tell you all the bad parts or something. You know? Like, and then we're all over the place. And then you're like, what? And everything would be set out of order. Like, did a squirrel just, I don't know, guys. I thought I saw a squirrel do something weird just now. Whatever. It is what it is. Oh, there is a squirrel up there anyway. But, yeah. It probably didn't do what I thought it did. That's not the point. That's not the problem. Okay? That's not the problem. That one's not the problem. There is a problem. That one's not the problem. So, I didn't know if I wanted to tell you guys where I currently work or not. I didn't know. I waited until the last moment to tell you. I waited. I said, I do not know if the YouTube channel is going to find out where I work. I hope that if they find out, it's a good thing. Like, I hope that it's this way and not that way and that way. Like, I waited. Why did I wait? So, okay. There's gonna be some things that seem senseless on the list, but I don't. Well, all of it's gonna seem senseless on the list. Okay, all of it. Okay, all of it. Okay. All of it is gonna seem senseless to you. It's all gonna seem senseless. Completely. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? That's how close the stick is, dude. That's not the point. I have glasses. I'm not gonna poke my eye out, okay? So, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say everything that I wanted to say. The first thing is that I was thinking of tattoo ideas. New tattoo ideas. I thought of 3 new tattoo ideas. I want to get... I'm just gonna say it and it's gonna sound weird and you're gonna be like, why would you do that? I kind of want to get a tattoo, like small. I don't want any like, I don't want them to be like big because of what they are, like it wouldn't make sense. But I want to get like a small like tattoo of an iPhone. I want to get a small one of an iPod Touch, like the 4th generation probably, because that's literally what I had when I was younger. I had that was like my first like device that felt like a serious device. Because I had whatever the boring tiny iPod was, like the one that didn't do anything except play music, and I was like iPod Shuffle, and I was like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, it wasn't like an awakening for me to have that. I was like, all it does is like sometimes play the song that I expected. If I really cross my fingers and think about it a lot, like the one that I wanted will play. That's the best it can do. You know, I can't even like personally select the song before it plays. Like, I don't know, I wasn't getting it. I was not understanding why would I do that. And then I had like a flip phone. I was like, I would rather throw this in the trash than own it. But my mom gave it to me and painted some like decorations on it, so I was like, okay, like that's, you know, I should be grateful. This is kind of good. I should be grateful, but it's a flip phone, but I should be as grateful as I can be for a flip phone. I thought I was a flip phone. I was like, I have a flip phone. I'm probably a flip phone also. I should just do the best that I can with it. Like, this is probably just what I am, and that's why I have it. I was at a weird mindset. And then I really had like an awakening when I got an iPod Touch, like 4th generation. I got it when that was the standard, like when there wasn't a better one out there. And it was the iPod Touch 4th generation, and that was what was mind-bending, mind-blowing, impossible. That was when I got that. So, when I got that, it was like shocking, it was an awakening. I was like, I have to remember everything that in my life I never would have had, or I never would have had if I hadn't had this. I have to, am I even saying that right? I have to remember everything that like I never would have experienced if I didn't have this, and also everything that it makes me think about. That was the first time where I was like, I have an object in my life, I have to remember every second of what it replaces in my life that would have been there instead, and what it causes and doesn't cause. So I really fixated on the device for the first time, like the Apple product that I was genuinely grateful to have and didn't pretend to be grateful to have. Then after that, years and years go by, and then I end up getting an iPhone, and that, again, like, I felt like it kind of was a reincarnation of the iPod Touch that I had. Like, I kind of felt like the consciousness of that iPod Touch just, like, died and reincarnated into the iPhone. Like, I kind of started to, like, do that for some reason. Like, I started to be, like, the consciousness of what my phone means to me starts to just travel into the new body of the new device when I discard the old one. I started to do that. Okay? I started to do that for the first time. And so it was having an iPhone that was when I did that for the first time, started saying that for the first time. So that's why I wanted to get those 2 devices as like small tattoos, kind of small. When I say like 2 inches probably, or like less than that, like 2 inches or less for each one. So to me, kind of a small tattoo, because I have bigger tattoos than that, so I wouldn't have thought of it as like, you know, people have like, do they want just like a dot and that's like a tiny tattoo, or do they want like their whole leg and that's a tiny tattoo to them because they have their whole body so far or whatever, you know what I mean? People have different stuff going on, but for me, like 2 inches or smaller, I'm like, that's definitely like a small tattoo. That's what I want. And then I thought of something. So I actually was just scrolling on TikTok and I saw these I just zoned out for like the longest amount of time possible just now. Okay. This small little length of time is the largest amount possible at this moment. That was a cute little fly. Like a yellow fly. I don't know what they're called. So, yeah. That made my face red. Okay. I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw somebody posting about those Victoria's Secret bikinis that everybody had in 2015. If you don't know what they look like, you'll just have to Google it, but if you go on Pinterest and you just type like 2015 bikini, then it shows up. It's like the multicolored ones with like the black outline on there. You'll know it if you look for it. So anyway, I kind of want to get like a little tattoo of that. The reason why is because in 2015, how old was I? Like 13. Because I was born in 2002. God damn it, I always get to know my exact age. Just subtract 2 from the year. So, anyway. Yeah. So what I was trying to say is I want to get a tattoo of the literal Victoria's Secret bikinis, the ones everyone had. You want to know why? Because I never had those, and that was an example of one thing that, like, first of all, I was too young for, because I was too young to have a bikini, because I always had to have those one-piece swimsuits, which I don't regret having the one-piece swimsuits, even though that wasn't like my choice because I was a child. You know what I mean? Like, I had to literally be, I want to say like 16 or 17 the first time that I had a bathing suit that was not a one-piece bathing suit, and that was when I bought my own bathing suits. I mean, maybe I had like one that I would wear like when I went on vacation to see like my grandparents or something, like I had like a bikini over there or something, because like they just bought it at Walmart, and like I didn't have another bathing suit, whatever. It was more like slim picking based on the options over there. At that Walmart, they only had like one option. So that was what I ended up with over there. So, but my normal day-to-day life, it was like I was 16 the first time I had a not one-piece bathing suit, right? Or 17, probably 17, because even at 16 I was trying to fit into those one-piece bathing suits that I still had that were like a little bit too small. Like I was still trying to like force that when I was like 17. So, because I was very like, I was definitely so much like homeschooled, one-piece bathing suit till I'm 18, which is funny considering some things have changed since then, not everything, but that's not the point. But it kind of shows, like, encapsulates like the mindset of the time, right? But anyway, so that 2015 bathing suit, I never got to have that, but it wasn't like I wish that I did, because I wasn't that age, but I was kind of like, someday when I'm that age, like I want that. And like, I don't actually want to wear those necessarily. I mean, maybe at some point I would get one, but whatever. That's not the point. The point is, like, I want a tattoo of that because it's so interesting to see, like, where does it start for you when you start to see things that are, like, in culture that at one specific time are cool for the generation above you, and you're like, someday I'm gonna do that. Then you get to that age and you're like, well, like, I definitely, like, the love that I had for those still exists, but it's like, it was never mine. Like, it was always somebody else's experience they were having that I was on the outside witnessing, and I was like, it was this weird, like, it's not nostalgia for an experience that I ever had. It's nostalgia for when I was younger and I was looking up to people that were in the generation above me, or half a generation above me, and I was like, wow, like, someday when I'm as old as you, like, that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird to see, like, certain things where it's just clothing, it's just a fashion trend, but it's like, it's so weird to see that, like, I was like, someday when I'm as old as you, like, I'm gonna be that cool. And that was like the standard of, like, how cool are you gonna be when you're that old? That's how cool you're gonna be when you're that old. You know what I mean? Like, it was like kind of like that. So anyway, and then I saw on Pinterest, like, I found this drawing of it that looks very adorable, like, cool. Just a swimsuit, not like a person wearing it or anything, just the, you know, but I was like, and small, again, like a small tattoo of it. Yeah. So that was one thing that I thought of. And so, I guess, like, virtues of the spirit were, like, the reason why those 3 tattoos were something I was interested in, because I definitely felt like I became very interested, not knowing what I was interested in, but I became very, like, interested in energy and, like, the human spirit, like, around my very early, like, teenage years. Like, I started to be more, like, fascinated and, like, fixated on that, but not know what it was that I was even interested in. Because it became so not about the actual object, but more about the energy that I had casted onto it. But I didn't even know, because I didn't know magic was real yet. But I became so fixated and interested in the idea of the energy that I had already casted around all of these objects, whether I had them or not. In my mind and my personal experience, and when I had the objects, just them physically, like, I became so obsessed with that without even having words to explain what I was obsessed with. Crazy. So, this is gonna be a long video. I have to make sure I know if it ever stops recording if I ran out of time. Okay. Just so you know, it suddenly started smelling very badly like horse poop like a minute ago. And it was not even a strong smell, and I don't see a horse. It's not like it just pooped a minute ago. Like, the horse poop that was sitting there didn't smell like anything, and now it does. 1 minute ago. Wow. So, the next thing on my list of things that I have to talk to you about. The next thing on my list, I did this in a way that kind of makes sense. The order. Okay? I'm making a lot of weird faces. It's the spirit of the moment, okay? The spirit of the moment is with me right now, and it says a lot of things in different animal languages, not in English very much. Okay? The spirit of the exact moment is here. Anyway, that's not the point. The real point, why? I'm making weird faces again. Anyway, don't mind me. I'm being me. So, I wanted to talk to you about how psychics can experience something called clairaudience, which is where they can hear things as a psychic ability. Okay? When I was little, there were little things that I would hear, just like a person's name, and then I would maybe meet the person later on. Little things like that, but I never noticed it. I never thought, oh, that's weird. I never thought that when I was little, which is why I think it came so easily to me, because I didn't have like an aversion to it. I wasn't like, oh, that's like a horrifying bad thing. I was like, it probably just means that person wants to talk to me if I'm like hearing their name and it's like on my mind, like hearing it in my head, okay? It wasn't like, you know, through the ears, but it was like, you know, because it was in my head. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but in my head, I would hear that as a person who hears their thoughts, but it was like, I didn't put this here, it's just here, you know, on my mind. So that's how that went, okay? That's what I had when I was younger, and then over the years, I, like, grew out of it, okay? I would say I grew out of it, like, completely till I was 16, and this girl let me borrow her swimsuit, which it's going to be, like, a funny story. I mean, not really a funny story, but, like, the way that this went to me was funny. Okay. She let me borrow her swimsuit. Then the next day she was like, are you gonna give that back? And I experienced like clairaudience in that moment from what she said, and I didn't even know why. She asked for her swimsuit back, and then in my head, I heard my own thoughts say, why would my swimsuit need a lawyer? And I was like, huh? Like, I remember being like, oh my God, like, what if I have like some kind of mental issue? Like, I'm not supposed to be able to hear my own thoughts. Like, I remember like I was spiraling. I didn't tell anyone because I was like, why would I tell anyone? But I was spiraling. I was like, that's not fine. That's not fine. Why would that be? Oh, that's not fine. You know what I mean? I was like, this is gonna be bad. I didn't tell her, but I definitely looked at her like, because I was like, how did she have such direct energy? But I think maybe on her end, it was like, oh, she just has to like be direct and like ask for her swimsuit back, which then I gave back like the day after that. You know what I mean? And I think she was just very like adamant on getting her swimsuit back. And somehow I, on the receiving end, received some energy with that. I received like, do I need a lawyer to like protect my swimsuit energy? And I was like, whoa, you can have your swimsuit. You know what I mean? Like I didn't, it went farther than I expected. So then, again, I think because I was so freaked out, my mind sealed off my ability to experience clairaudience until I was like 20. Okay, like, or maybe not. Like here, I didn't like, I would sense things. Like, I don't know what it's called. Maybe like clairsentience or something, where I don't know. I would have visual like dreams. I would dream of something and it would come true the next day, and that was something that I felt close enough that I could be accurate, but detached enough that I wasn't scared of the ability, because I was scared of the ability. I would have little tiny things here and there, but it wasn't, you know. And then when I was 20, I changed my name. The day that I changed my name, after I changed my name, not before, like 12 hours later, okay? Probably like on the dot 12 hours later. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. Like around that time, I start being bombarded with energy, psychic experiences. Not even like, it was kind of like like, you know, people talk about the concept of like a psychic veil, but it was like as if there was no psychic veil out of nowhere suddenly, which, you know, I was just like, you know, suddenly I can like sense energy a lot more, not as much as I can now, okay? But at the time, for me, I was like, okay, like I'm experiencing some clairaudience, like it means like this and that, and like I would just know what it meant, and I could sense physical energy where it felt like I'm not supposed to be around this person, I'm not supposed to be around that person, I'm not supposed to stand exactly where I am, but if I walk 10 feet to the left, I'm fine. I'm not supposed to stand exactly on this physical location, but if I walk 10 feet over, I'm fine. And I wasn't supposed to know why or what. Like, it was so weird. It sounds extreme, guys. It felt extreme in the moment just to have the switch of it. Not because, I don't know, guys. Like, it wasn't like bad, but it was fine. I was just like, I'm psychic now. Changed my name and now I'm psychic. Like, I already sort of stumbling over my words. God damn it. I would say more so, I'm just saying that. I'm not saying it for a reason, those words. Like, I wasn't setting myself up to say anything. Just so you know, I'm just talking. It's just where I'm at, okay? It's a part of where I'm at. Not physical location, but it's a part of where I'm at. So, yeah, I don't really know what I'm saying now. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I was 20 when I started to have, like, more clairaudience, okay? Like, 2021, I definitely experienced more clairaudience. I had some psychic visions. I had some psychic dreams, but they started to lessen and be replaced by my primary method of being more psychic. The dreams became, like, not something I was really interested in anymore. I think the dreams were more of like a way that I could separate some of the psychic experiences from myself, but I just didn't need that anymore. Like, I was like, I can just like deal with it, because we're so trained to think in this society that, like, if you're experiencing anything that's not like normal, but it's somebody else's version of normal that you have to like subscribe to, or you're supposed to like not even know if you're fine, but you're fine. I don't know, guys. I'm fine. I was fine. But for some people, they might not know. If they're suddenly psychic and they weren't before, it's like you're not supposed to instantly have that experience. It's kind of supposed to just happen in the way that you're like prepared for, in the way that you're ready for. Like, your mind isn't supposed to let it happen in a way that you're not prepared for. If you have like a really strong spirit, it's supposed to happen gradually. You know, or in the way that you're the most prepared for, essentially. So, anyway, after that, now that I told you the ages that I had certain, you know, psychic experiences, now I can tell you about experiencing clairaudience where I currently work at Sam's Club. So, we'll start there. Where I currently work at Sam's Club, first of all, it's a great job so far. So it has, like, what I'm saying has nothing to do with Sam's Club. It's literally just me, again, me being psychic. There's a bug on my phone. Don't glitch this. Don't glitch my phone, bug. Because get it, like, simulation, bug, phone, glitch, physical, like, animal bug. Yeah, don't do that, please. Don't glitch my phone. I literally feel that in my teeth. It means something's true if you feel it, like, in the nerves of your teeth out of nowhere when your teeth were not feeling sensitive before, but you suddenly feel that. It means that it's true. You should have other ways to sense if something's true, but at a last resort, that means something's true. So, that's just about the only way that I'll believe. The last resort, okay? So, what I was gonna say, at Sam's Club, I'm experiencing some psychic experiences. Deciphering what they mean, alright? Some of the information is just being handed to me though, which I'm very cautious of. I'm like, why is this being handed to me in exchange for what? Where is it randomly coming from? Like, that kind of thing. Like, I'm like, only because sometimes there's like an exchange of things. I definitely kind of believe that like if certain things are handed to you, it's because you're supposed to, it's like structured, like you're going down this exact timeline, and if you're going down that timeline, you need to have the tools required for it. So, because I'm psychic and spiritual, and I'm a witch, so you can't think I'm crazy because it's literally my religion, dude. Don't you know my religion is your version of crazy? You just have to deal with it. It's kind of true though. Okay. Like, if you don't get it, you don't get it. It's not my problem. So, what I was gonna say is, I have been experiencing clairaudience, and not just clairaudience, like clairsentience, like different spirits, whatever, at Sam's Club, and I just started working there. So, I was going to throw away some trash, okay? I was holding a trash bag, walking up to the... This is a trash chute, okay? Like it has a sign on the outside, like a warning, don't climb in here because you're not gonna be safe. Like, you're probably not gonna come out if you crawl in here, kind of thing. Like, on the door it says, don't crawl in here, warning. Like, don't let anybody that you see fall in there, that kind of thing, okay? Like, it says like, warning, don't fall in here. Warning, don't let somebody else fall in here. Warning, don't open this if somebody else is around you. On the door, like that kind of thing. It's giving that vibe, okay? It's giving that vibe. And there's like a baler with recycling next to me, okay, to my right, as I'm opening this door, which you have to open it like a weird way to even get it open, okay? And then you have to like, it's at like waist high where you have to like throw the bag in with like all of your weight to even make it go like all the way down, okay? It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, okay? So as I'm walking up to this thing, I'm like 6 inches from the door, and the baler starts shaking and going crazy. Not because it's on, it's not turned on. There's some cardboard in there, but cardboard doesn't shake on its own. There's not animals. Like, I'm like, there's spirits? Like, that's weird. Like, I genuinely, on first impression, I thought there's definitely a ghost. When I thought that, through clairaudience, okay, as I'm touching the door, about to open it, as I'm opening it, okay, through clairaudience, I'm like, should I even say this? Because I don't know, like, people are gonna think I'm crazy. It's not about you if you're a weirdo and you think I'm crazy for no reason. It's not about that. It's not about you. It's about people who believe me and that going wrong that I'm concerned about, not you, because you're just a weirdo if you can't even figure out that like some things are just true. Like, that's not even my problem. I'm worried about the people who you know, will believe me and then take it in a weird way and be like, do you even want your job or something? You know what I mean? Like, I'm worried about that. So whatever, I'll go for it. So through clairaudience, the like I want to say it was a deity. I just don't know who. I'm still like, which one was it? You know, like, I'm still like not sure because it wasn't like distinct. I was like, because a lot of the time I don't even know for sure which one it was that talked to me, if one does. A lot of the time I know it is a deity, if it is one, but I can't identify which one it is. A lot of the time. Still, because I'm still learning that. So that's where I'm at. I know if it is one a lot of the time, just not, or if it's my higher self, but I don't know which one it is a lot, because it just is one. I just will know that, but like, you know, or if it's like a weird spirit, I'll hear it in like a different type of way, usually not through like clairaudience, unless I do, but then I know what it is if I do, kind of more. Okay. So, I hear through clairaudience, okay? What I hear is, this is not where, I don't remember what it's called. I don't know what it's called. Like, I hear, this is not where a dismembered body is supposed to go. Please remember that. I'm literally like, why did I just hear like a spirit next to me as I say that? That's as I'm throwing away the trash, and then I hear just the recycling going crazy again, shaking, and I'm looking at the inside of this trash thing, and I'm like trying to like visually like burn into my memory what this looks like, because I'm like, at some point in time I'm supposed to be able to look at something and know what's been there, who's been there, what they've done with it. Like, I know that in the future I'm going to be able to. I just haven't got there yet. Like, I know what I'm going to know in the future, just not how soon I'm gonna know. So I'm like, I'm trying to burn into my memory, like, and the please remember that was like so specific too. So I was like, okay, like I'm trying to burn into my memory the visual picture of what this looks like so I can remember it for the rest of my life, and then be like, and I, of course, like I have like chills. I'm like, those words were like very extreme. Like, I'm looking at all the people around here, like not like they can tell, but I was like, I'm a little bit more suspicious, because what do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, and I didn't tell you guys, before I got that job, which I'm not saying it's the job's fine. The job's great so far. Okay, the job's been good to me. Okay, the job's been good to me, but right before, like as I was filling out as I was filling out applications, I randomly just had that thought one time. I said, this is not where a dismembered body or whatever, like I keep forgetting those exact words, but I was like, this is not where a dismembered body is supposed to go. And then I kind of just ignored the thought, because I was like, okay, like I'm just filling out applications. It wasn't specific to this job or this location when I had that thought. I didn't associate it with anything. I was just like, okay, like that's what I'm currently learning, where I'm currently at, what I'm currently like visually learning, you could say. Like when I visually look at objects, I'm starting to learn, like, this is not something that's ever happened to this object. This is not something this object has ever experienced at this current time, so if that ever changes, then I'm supposed to know. Weird, but I'm just learning, becoming more psychic, guys. I'm just learning, becoming more psychic, okay? That's important to know. When I have a list of, like, if you were psychic, like, what would you want to know? That's on my list. But it just takes energy to get there. So I'm not fully at that level where I would, like, say it with my chest. You know what I'm saying? So, like, anyway. Yeah, no, I have to be at an extreme level before I'm willing to say anything with my chest. Because I'm like, if I'm gonna be opened up to people not believing me and thinking I'm crazy, I have to be 1,000,000% like correct and accurate, especially with something serious. But you know, I definitely have a lot of like interest in psychically learning like criminal investigation stuff. Like, I'm just interested. I don't want to actually be in that field as far as like work, but you know, like psychically I'm interested in knowing some stuff like that, like being able to sense it. Like, if I were in a certain type of situation, would I be able to sense it? And like, at what point in time would I be able to sense it? So yeah, I'm not strong enough to, you know, be able to sense it, but I can theorize that at some point in time I will be strong enough to be able to sense that. And so the level of what I'm currently trying to open myself up to learn is you know, has this object been used to unalive somebody, that kind of thing. Like, that's what I'm interested in learning, based on visually seeing an object, being able to just determine immediately within 1 second if it's true or not. And then of course I have a million other questions when I see an object. A million other I said other objects. I have a million other objects, okay? I have a million other questions when I see an object, not just that, but that's question number 1 for sure. And then I have like a list of priorities, like, okay, like, I have a million other priorities with that. Sorry guys, I got distracted because my mind is so clear, so like meditative right now, except for what I'm telling you, and then I just heard brush your teeth and I was like, why did I just hear brush your teeth? What is it about? But I don't know. Not knowing is a big part of learning, because you want to know how many times I have to be exposed to something before I know what it means. Quite a few times. It takes me probably on average like 7 or 8 times before I even care enough to like get to the next phase where I know what something means. And then like probably like 12 times before I believe myself about something if I knew for sure, okay? It takes me like a bit of time, okay? To feel like I can confirm something for myself. So yeah. So, sorry, I got distracted again. There have been now, I want to say like a few, like, there have been a few moments that I've, you know, I'm always like eyes peeled, okay? As a spiritual person, as a witch, I always have my eyes peeled, okay? I always have my eyes peeled. Always, always. I always have my eyes peeled. For like little tiny details that I'm like recording in my memory, even though I forget, okay? Like I still am diligently recording even when I forget immediately what I just saw. For future reference, okay? What if it means something to me someday? And it does eventually. So that's why it matters. And I'll explain to that. I'll explain to that. I will explain to you that. Okay? I will explain to you. So, yeah, I don't know, my mind is so clear, it's almost like I can't even, like, think of what to tell you. I'm so, like, I'm on to a certain exact thing, and then, like, when my mind's too clear, I'm like, now I don't even know what to say. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Of course, when I have absolutely nothing on my mind, I'm like, do I even have a soul? Like, I start to go to, like, the most existential, like, I'm like, oh, we can't go there. Of course I do. You know what I mean? Like, I start to go to, like, the weird places as soon as my mind is, like, as clear as possible. I'm, like, scrambling to make something up because I'm like, oh no, like, what if I have a clear mind for a moment? Like, it's gonna be so bad. What's gonna be bad about it? Nothing. Nothing is gonna be bad about it. We made it to 43 minutes. That's proof that my phone could have done it in the last video I did, like, a couple videos ago, because I didn't clear out any space, by the way. By the way, it's proof. It's all the proof I need. It's not all the proof you need, okay? But it's all the proof I need. I know exactly what fucking happened, dude. But you don't need you don't need the proof, but if you get it, you get it. If you get it, you get it. If you get it, you get it. So. It's cold. It's so cold. It's Florida and it's March. Why is it cold? I keep saying it's probably gonna be a new ice age or something. I just don't want it to be. I keep saying it, but I don't want it to be. That doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen. Okay. So the next time that I experienced clairaudience working at Sam's Club, I was giving out samples and it was when a robot almost ran into me. You might remember it from my very brief story that I had. Actually, Nobody ever told me that I have robot coworkers. I just said it to myself in my head. I said my robot coworker almost ran into me, and then a deity came to me in my ear. I don't even know which one, but a deity came to me in my ear and said, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, but you're not supposed to know what that is because nobody told you yet. And I was like, you know, like, it was kind of silly, but like, I was like, well, that's my robot coworker that hopes to replace me someday. You know what I mean? Like, it was that specific. And I was like, I don't know why these words are coming out of my mouth because nobody told me what those are, but I took one look at those and I knew what they were. And then as soon as I didn't know what they were, a deity is like, by the way, you're not supposed to know what this is because nobody's told you yet. Just like, remember that. Remember the fact that this information was fed to you. Remember that this was fed to you. Remember that this information was fed to you. Remember that you didn't have to work for this information. Remember that it was immediately there. You looked at this, you took one look at it, and that information was immediately downloaded into your brain. Please remember that. Like, that's how detailed this goes. And I'm like, but that thing is AI. That thing is controlled by AI. Am I turning into AI? Like, I start to have my existential, like, what if my soul is like slowly turning into AI? How bad is that gonna be? Am I gonna be fine? Like, am I not gonna exist anymore? Am I not going to reincarnate if my soul is slowly turning into AI? Like, and all I did was look at a robot. Look at a robot. That's all I did. And I said, am I going to be okay? Am I turning into AI? Like, am I never going to have another, like, future lifetime on a different planet? Like, am I nobody now? Like, what is gonna happen? Like, is this gonna be fine? Like, that's how easy I go into, is this even going to be fine? And again, having a clear mind is how fast I go into, do I even have a soul? That's how much I'm always like, my legs are like shaking now that I said that, because it's like my spirit is like, oh no, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, so now that I told you that, earlier today, I wrote down the words, the end of the world. Like, I just randomly wrote down the end of the world on paper, okay? For no reason, out of nowhere, I wrote down the words, the end of the world, and the last two words ended up on a different sheet of paper that I wasn't even expecting. Like, the paper I was writing on, I didn't notice there was another one under it, but like, the last two letters somehow ended up on the wrong sheet of paper. Completely. Like, I wrote the end of the world, and then the last two letters, even though I wrote them, in my brain, I was writing them on the correct sheet of paper, but the last two letters ended up on the wrong sheet of paper that was under it. Just so you know. Two letters. And so I was like, oh, like, that's so weird. That's not terrifying at all. That's terrifying. That's so terrifying. Okay, anyway, I was like, that's spooky. That's so terrifying. Like, how did that happen? How did that happen? I don't know. So, just so you know. I was horrified. I was like, I don't know what that is. Yeah. The next thing that is not about Sam's Club that much, but really just about me and about, how I felt when I was like 16 or younger. I definitely would have like cried if I had to walk into a Sam's Club. Like, I would have refused, I would have cried, I would have said there's absolutely no way that I'm going in one. Like, I would have gone on a rant about it. I would have said there's no way that this is fine. Like, there's no way that I'm walking into a Sam's Club. If I were about to walk into a Sam's Club and somebody were like with me, I would tell them like, there is no way that I'm going in. Like, I'll wait outside. Like, I don't want to do it. Or if I walked into one, I was eyes peeled looking at those top, like, shelves. I was like, oh no, like, if there were a tornado indoors, we would all be dead. Like, tornadoes don't go indoors. It was me. It was all me. Tornadoes don't go indoors. Okay, the outside is very sturdy. Tornadoes don't go indoors while people are shopping without anybody knowing. Like, tornadoes don't just spawn indoors inside of Sam's Clubs. But that was what I was so terrified of. So mystical, but like, how was I so terrified that a tornado could spawn inside of a Sam's Club and just kill somebody? Make something fall on somebody? Because there are some pallets of items that are like above people, but in safe ways, probably. I mean, I'm assuming. it looks safe. It's so funny because now working there as an employee, the last thing I'm worried about is like one of those falling down. But before being an employee, I would have been like stressed about it, which is weird. But there's residual energy at play from, you know, me being younger as well, and also me now, and also the company and being an employee and the physical location and the timeline. Like there's so much residual energy at play, and also me being a witch and a practitioner like of magic. It's possible that I really worked on my chakras and trust and knowledge, and that I'm better now and that I'm not stressed, and that's why. And like there's so many reasons that there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for it, and there's so many reasons why there could be residual energy and a terrible explanation for it, and I don't know which one, and that's fine. And it's just not supposed to be a bad thing because there's no reason for it to be a bad thing. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's not the only place I'm at, but that's not the only place I'm at, but that is one place that I'm at. All right, it's not the only place I'm at, but it's one place that I'm at. One of the many places I'm at simultaneously, you know, just not physical places, just things. Things I'm observing to become stronger and better. But I definitely would have thought of capitalism and greed and the end of the world if I looked at those palettes above people's heads, and I would have just combined all of those, had like this cocktail of stress and terror when I was younger, when I was like a teenager. I would have been like panicked. But now I'm at peace looking at those every day. I'm like, this is fine. This seems fine. You know, again, just more trust or residual energy, or maybe I'm losing a little bit of my awakening or something, I don't know. But you know how easily I could go there and think that, you know, how fast I could, you know, one second of a clear mind and I thought I didn't have a soul. So anything else could happen, you know, like that was how quickly I was willing to believe that. So anything else could be easy to believe, you know, that kind of thing. Not in like a mindless way, but in like just like a way that I'm aware of. So wow, we're going through pages. Which one do we start on now? Just so you know, I have 2 pages that I just finished telling you about, only the front side of each page, and now I have one last page front and back that I thought I was only gonna need 3 sheets of paper, but then because I don't really like using the back side, using Sharpie on paper, because it bleeds everywhere and it's so unnecessary. Ew. You know, so like I didn't like that, but let's see. I swear we talk about something else before we talk about what I was about to say. I swear we do, right? There's an order to this. I'm just stupid. So I can't do anything like that way. Why is there a weird stripy bug on my bag? Go away. Weird new species or something. Ugh. Ew, get out of here. The sticks keep going in my hair, like right there, like keeps like messing it up. I can't do this. Wow, we're at 54 minutes. My phone is a trooper. Like it's going so good. It's working. It's literally recording me right now. Like I kind of can't believe it. Like it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. So. You know what, we're gonna pick a side of the paper and we're just gonna go for it. Last night I had a dream that I saw my, so my dad's girlfriend's house and also where my stepbrothers live. Like, I saw the house, and then people were driving past and shooting at the windows. Obviously, hopefully that doesn't happen. That's not the way that I'm taking it at all, because obviously, like, I would hope that, like, nobody's dead. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. I'm sounding insensitive. I don't mean it that way at all. That's how much I didn't mean it that way, to where I'm like, obviously, I don't know. I didn't mean it in a weird way. Like, obviously, it's just what I witnessed and experienced in my dream. I'm just shocked that I'm, like, saying this so casually. How am I saying it so casually? How open are my chakras, dude? Why can I talk about this so casually and so easily? And just say it. Like, why can I do that? Why am I so calm? I'm freakishly calm, by the way, right now. Like, weirdly. I mean, not that I'm, like... I don't know, guys. Weird moment. I just read that off the paper to you. But, at the same time, it's a dream. And I know that a lot of dreams can come true and have in the past, but I wasn't expecting it to, so I think that's where it comes from, that I'm, like, just casually saying it, but... I was like, if that's an omen in any way, then I am more shook by that. If it's an omen. But I'm like, it's probably not. That was the vibe, it's probably not. But I was like, why would I see that? But, and then I'm like surprised that, I don't know. I wouldn't have thought that karma were that close to me, I guess. You know? Yeah. Why am I casually saying that? I mean, there's not a reason I shouldn't, but like, why am I so casually saying this? Something so terrible. But that's how dreams all the time are, or movies. We talk about them and we're like, we casually say what happens in them, and then it's like, if we were talking about this as a real event, we'd be like stressed differently. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, oh, that was a dream. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So... Another thing on my list, the next item on the list, okay? We're just moving right along, because I don't even know what that one's supposed to mean, so we're moving it right along. Next, I realized how much my skin tone has changed over the years. Wow, I feel so uncomfortable saying this, but it's true. Why do I feel uncomfortable saying this? My skin tone has changed over the years. I posted some pictures on my community like post tab for photos on my YouTube. Yeah, we're still recording. Okay. So, yeah, like wow, the words on the page, I have to fold it. I can't even look at the words anymore. Like, now they don't sit right with me. Like, I'm like, I can't even look at the words. Like, I literally have to fold the paper so that I can't see the words that I just read and said casually. Not the ones about the skin tone, but the before that. Like, the people getting shot one. Like, I literally had to fold the paper because I can't even look at it anymore. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I can't look at the words on the paper anymore. Even though I casually said it and couldn't believe how casually I said it, now I'm like, huh? Like, you know what I mean? You know, when you look around, you're like, huh? Like, what? And now I can't even look at the words. Like, they seriously find, the energy just makes me feel like throwing up. Like, even though I said it to you, and even though I still don't know what it means, like, I seriously can't even look at the words. So, because I'm weird. I don't know why. Spiritual? Maybe it's spiritual. So, yeah, so my skin tone has changed a lot through the years, which is so odd to me, because of the photos that I posted on my community tab, where I was like way more tan, I was like 13 there, because I was shocked by the amount that my skin tone had changed. So that's why I posted it, because I was like, look guys, like, this is different, like, this is not what I expected. I was just shocked in the moment, so that's why, I don't know, I was shocked. I posted it, and it's weird for me to be uncomfortable talking about my own skin tone changing. it was more tan and then I got way less tan. Like unanimously my entire body decided we're gonna be less tan for this next chapter. Like, how many years ago was that? I was 13 and I'm 22 now. I don't know, quite a bit of years. So, yeah. What I was gonna say is, it's interesting that when I was 13, I was very, well, not the darkest skin tone, obviously. Obviously, a lot of people have darker skin tones than that, but I was very tan compared to what I am now, which is interesting because I never had to buy makeup at that age. Like, I never had to know what it was like to be, like, very tan trying to find makeup, and a lot of brands only make makeup for people with, like, lighter skin. Like, right now, I could just go there and buy, like, light neutral, and then whatever option they have is probably fine. I don't have to worry about it. But when people have more tan skin, they have to worry about, like, does this brand even make my color, like my skin tone, the shade that I would need? Like, do they even make that? So I never had to have that, but obviously I'm not saying that there's so many things that I don't know if I'm, like, saying incorrectly about that, which is so weird because I'm only talking about my own skin tone and the experience that I didn't have and the struggle that I didn't have. And so I'm like, can I even say those words? Which is crazy. How much residual energy is, like, around me with those words? Or how much in the collective is, like, around those words? You know what I'm saying? It's, like, a lot of, like, energy that I've been exposed to around those words, which is weird. So, I don't know what it is. I don't know where it came from. But, yeah. So, how do I jump to that? Why would I jump to that? Okay, so I'm jumping to some weird topics again. Okay, I'll say, when, you know, the girl I was talking about with the swimsuit that I borrowed when I met her, I felt like morality, like, split for me. Like, I felt so surprised by what I perceived her to be and how beautiful I had perceived her to be. I was shocked because I knew that a few fundamental beliefs around morality were entirely separate for her than for me at that age, which is why I felt like morality, like, split for me. And I was like, so somebody who is, like, so amazing to me, and I already thought I was so amazing, so I was like, she's so amazing, we're both so amazing, but we are complete opposites in a lot of ways. So it kind of awakened me when I realized that people can have completely different morality and be equally amazing. I mean, obviously, but, like, morality? Are we sure? Morality? Like, oh, you gotta see what some of those people in the world do and how beautiful they are. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with her. She's beautiful. She's great. I think that she's an amazing person. I just think that she's an amazing person in a few different ways than I am. But I think she's also such an amazing person. It's just like, when you really get to know morality, you can't go based on how people look, because some of these people have completely different morality than you, and they're more beautiful than you or equally beautiful, and it's just what they would or wouldn't experience or do is not what you would do. So it's, like, so weird and interesting. But yeah, not bad. I would say, like, I think that if I saw her, I wouldn't be, like, concerned. I would just remember that that happened, because I would be like, that's odd that we crossed paths again so soon. That's all. I don't know why I felt like saying that, but okay, next I was gonna say I only wore eyeshadow when I was 14 because makeup costs money and I didn't have the resources to have money to buy makeup yet, whether they were mine or somebody else's resources, like my parents or something. Like, I didn't have the resources for that when I was 14 or at any age before that. So I only had eyeshadow because that was, like, what was gifted to me. And then when I was 15, I had eyeshadow and a BB cream, like, moisturizer for my face, tinted moisturizer, when I was 15. And then I had no money for makeup at the start of me being 16 because I don't know, I regressed and stopped wearing makeup because I stopped having money and those things gifted to me at that age. And then I got my own job, and by the time I was at the end of being 16, well actually like the middle of being 16 to the end of me being 16, oh wait, not the middle, okay, like towards the end of me being 16, okay, like around when I was almost turning 17 is when I started to wear makeup again, and I got to try pretty much every type of makeup because I, my throat chakra is closing to this. I got my own job, and sorry, my throat chakra is seriously like as if somebody threw a bunch of tiny pairs of scissors in there. So, my throat chakra, my throat chakra is really closing to this, but I got my own job, and I'm saying it so weird again, but I got my own job, and I could buy makeup, and so I bought like a lot of different types of makeup. I bought like the very full coverage ones, the very light coverage ones. I bought different palettes of eyeshadow, a million like Jeffree Star lipsticks that were super popular at the time but now are controversial because he is like racist and stuff. My throat chakra is like literally closing again. Yeah, he also like hates trans people, so obviously he's like probably a terrible person. I mean, he is a terrible person, obviously. Like, why does he hate trans people? He literally started a lot of people's awakening to their own gender by saying he doesn't mind what pronouns people call him if they call him she, her, or they, because everybody's gonna look at him and say something different. But he said his dominant like pronoun would be he, and so he said that. Maybe he didn't say the word pronoun, but he said if somebody calls him she, they, or he, Jeffree Star said that Jeffree Star would not be offended by any pronouns, just didn't say the word pronouns. And then later on found out that everybody was having an awakening around pronouns, not because of, you know, his choices, but he realized, you know, everybody's having an awakening to their pronouns, and then decided not to like that, decided to go super Republican, decided to keep the same pronouns but not be okay with other people changing theirs, and then, you know, do exactly what Jeffree Star decided to do, exactly what Jeffree Star was not okay with. Jeffree Star, who helped a lot of people have awakenings to gender, decided to not be okay with other people understanding gender. As someone who understood gender. What kind of weird greed is this? What did you fall into? What did you fall into? You were never supposed to not be okay with yourself to that degree. Okay? Like, that's weird. There's no way you need validation from specific people that badly. Donald Trump, is that who you need your validation from? Or somebody else? Because whatever's happening is not working. Okay? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That weird. Whatever. You know what? I support Jeffree Star having whatever gender Jeffree Star wants, but I also support other people having whatever gender they want, because that was never supposed to be hard to support. Okay? Okay. So, and I understand that men can wear makeup and then still be Republican. I understand that. I'm saying that, like, some of it just looks like it goes in the wrong direction. That's all. Some of it just looks like it goes in the wrong direction. Yeah. Maybe it's a safety thing. I understand if Jeffree Star sort of like cosplays as having certain political beliefs for a safety issue. I don't know. I can understand why that would happen, where that would have started, and why it would continue. But I'm not trying to say Jeffree Star is like a terrible, I don't know that person. I don't know him. What I'm trying to say is that, like, it's like being gay and hating gay people. It's like helping 10 million people find out they're gay and then hating gay people. It's weird. You get that's what I'm trying to say. It's giving more like, you just helped all these people figure this out and now you don't like them? Like, it's giving confusing, okay? Maybe it was intentional to be controversial, to have more products sold. Maybe it was a safety thing. I don't know. So, because I know that maybe if somebody feels like they are already, but also, why were you racist at some point in time? I mean, I guess all the makeup products are inclusive now, but why? I don't think they ever were not, but I'm saying, like, why were you saying the N-word a long time ago? Why were you doing whatever a long time ago? Like, some weird stuff was going on. I don't know. I don't really know, guys, but it was already weird. So, it was already weird. Yeah. The last thing I was gonna say is that in my 20s, I've been like not as interested in wearing makeup. Like I'll do like some fun eyeshadow, but I really like the natural skin. I like just letting it breathe. If I cover anything, just like the under eyes. Like if it's ever like super dark, usually only if I am like in weird lighting. But yeah, that's pretty much all. Anyway, yeah. That's actually like all I have to talk about, guys. I didn't even mean to go on about Jeffree Star, it was the combination of the racism and then the not accepting other people's gender that I just really could not get past. That's not where anybody should be at in 2025. I understand that the past is the past, but what's the future gonna be? The future should be better than the past, okay? So don't be racist, don't hate other people's gender, don't hate other people changing their gender, because you are not in control of any of that. Anyway, I love you guys. Bye. I hope you like the wind in the trees. I can't believe we are at 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 3 seconds. Okay. I love you. Do what your heart desires. I will see you guys soon in another video. My neck and my back hurt now. Anyway, I was happy to see. That should make me burp. Why did that make me burp? Anyway, I love you guys. See you guys later. The stick is in my hair again. I love you. Bye. Bye. We're not done. I'll see you soon.